together. You can lay it right in the center. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. All right, we're gonna try this. Mic, let me get the mic level down a little. Level test 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to turn the wireless down a whole lot. That's probably better right there. Okay. All right, we're gonna try to do a walk around here. Hopefully, we can maintain our signal. We're going by Yazoo here. Let's just come down here and see what we got. Ham Radio Deluxe. Let's just go back another 5 or 2 feet in the camera over there, Rick. Yeah, we're at hold right here. Right here. Whoa, stop. We're at Ham Radio Deluxe here. Y'all have already heard Rick. We've talked to Rick earlier. We're gonna go and we're gonna roll. Keep going. Let's stop here at Flex for a second. This is Flex. We got Flex right here. Let's see if we can get their sign up here, Kathy. I like your sign right there. All right, this is some of Flex's stuff right here. This is their software-defined radios. Who? Where? Okay, well, yeah, what's that? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to come down here. Let's see, we've got, what we got here? We got Ham Radio World here. This is a side that you haven't seen. It's been blocked by all the vendor booths. Okay, this is a lot of the flea market. I'm trying to come around here. Let's give you kind of a sweep of some of the flea market here. Quite a few tables in that area. All right, we will go on down a little ways. Check out a few things here. I feel like I'm being followed by a camera. I don't know about this. This is a pretty good shot here. This is a pretty good shot of the flea market right here. We're going to be back by 2:30. You see quite a few tables, a lot of activity going on over here on this side. You're not getting to see this from our point of view because we got all the dealers in between us and all this. Just wondering if the camera is still following me. Oh, here's some field wire. This Army field wire right here is really good stuff. I usually buy a spool of this off of eBay. I use this in the military. It has like each side has like 3 strands of steel and I think 4 strands of copper. So it's very strong. And actually, I build wire antennas out of this, and you can't break that wire. It won't stretch. It just doesn't break. Over here to Ron and Amy and Broadway. They're the ones that give away a hat. I want to do some. All right, let's look. Oh, we got some repeaters here. Let's see. MSR 2000 Motorola repeaters. We got looks like a Motorola shop here. We got looks like Motorola power supplies, Motorola repeaters. Oh, hey, ain't no wonder. Look at this. How you doing here, man? Is this your stuff here? Oh man, one of those may be in that old repeater I got rid of. Oh, do you? Oh, they were? Well, I know the club put that 7515 on. That's the frequency that I had coordinated, and I donated a. It wasn't one of the, it was a bigger cabinet. It was the Motorola. It was a MyCore. It was a MyCore. Yeah, these are. I think these are newer than what I had. The MSR, I think. Yeah. Uh-huh. So you had it on the air?
Had it on the air, 147.03 in Memphis on 107.2. But it's been on the air since 2006, and I haven't touched it.
Okay, it'd probably be better to use other wireless ones. Yeah. All right, so hey, you guys came in. Wait, there's a lot of Memphis guys here.
Whole bunch, yeah.
Is that what this is? The Delta?
MARA's down here.
Oh, okay, so nearly. Did y'all
Okay,
ride? You didn't ride the bus, did you?
No, well, we rode our bus. We have a 15-passenger minivan or a van, not a minivan, and we came down in that.
We had 1,100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're selling these by the pound. It's over 1,000 pounds of repeaters across here.
So how much you get per pound for a repeater?
It's about 25, 26 cents a pound, I think, is what we're asking. We offer all
deal.
of these 4 for $600. Along with all the spare parts and everything over here.
That's a good deal.
And we said if they bought them, we'd throw in a duplex.
So a duplex here, that's a good deal, man.
Yeah, it's got the controller, the all the interconnects, the whole bit, and they work fine. They've been on the air. These are all working repeaters.
Yeah, good. How about that rotor? Is that a good rotor?
Yeah, it sure is. We've got several of them here that came out of estates and whatnot. They all work. These are the lighter duty, the AR-22s and the U-100s, and they all work.
Well,
and here's a mini repeater here, a little wall-mounted repeater.
All right, we're going to roll on.
We'll see you guys. Have a good hamfest.
We'll come back by again. Okay. Let's go right here.
Say there, young man.
You resting? I'm here with the president now of the of the hamfest, right? You were so stressed out last night and this morning. You look pretty bad, Charlie.
Well, I'll tell you what. I can't say that I ever look good at any time, but this old chair helps out, man.
Well, you know, like one of our admins, I think Don Wilbanks would say, you got a face for radio. You know?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a big surprise,
but
man.
But you looked so stressed out last night and this morning, particularly when the ticket bin wouldn't hold all the tickets.
Well,
man.
you know, that's a problem that we did not anticipate. Now, I mean, you know, we sold a lot of tickets last year, and everything, but let me just kind of stand up here. And
you're doing okay.
No, I will do that. But we sold an awful lot of tickets this year. As a matter of fact, they've had to stop the program that we have where if you buy $100 worth of tickets, you get 250. and I have got to call into my printer, and the printer he's AWOL.
So you're going to try to get some more printed tonight? And
well,
have
that was
tomorrow?
what I was going to do. We had to do it last year. We sold enough tickets last year that we had to have 3,000 more tickets printed.
How many tickets did you think you have total?
Well, we buy 15,000.
Whoa!
And but you know, we're the only ham fest on the planet, and I don't know that we're not going to have to stop this because we give one ticket when you come in at the door with your button. You get 2 tickets for $1. If you buy $100 worth of tickets at once, you get 250 tickets. That's 50 free tickets. That's a lot. And so a lot of people have learned about that. I mean, it's always been going on, but a lot of people have learned about that. And so we have a lot of $100 people that do the $100 deals there. And so we're going to have to do a couple of things. We're either going to have to get smaller tickets or a bigger ticket barrel, or we may have to just start buying more tickets and anticipating that. We've given away some really good prizes this year. They're listed on the website www.hamfest.org, hamfest.org, and they have got we got all of them listed there. We got most of them listed there, but we have the main prizes, pictures of them there. We have one of the new crank IR antennas. We got the FT 1200 and the FT 450, and so they're good prizes, and they sell us a lot of tickets, and we use that money to try to recoup for the prizes, the cost of the prizes. Of course, we have a lot of things donated, and we try to give those away, you know, as the hourly prizes and all of that. So we got a couple of problems that we got to work on. The problems are good, but they're logistics problems that we got to have. We got to get a bigger barrel, or sell smaller tickets, or something to that effect. But we are real tickled to death, and we appreciate everybody that comes to us either by the internet or to the Hamfest, and we appreciate y'all watching, taking the time to do that, and registering in the chat room. And so we appreciate everybody. Appreciate Tom and Kathy for doing what they do. I mean, this is great.
Well, now, we haven't given away your big prize yet. You don't have to go get it right now, but we're going to give away the prize that the Hamfest committee has donated.
Yes.
That's the MFJ 269C?
269C, I believe it is. It does UHF, VHF.
Yeah, it's the big antenna analyzer. So we're going to give that away after a while on here. So that's coming from Huntsville Hamfest Prize Committee.
Right, it is. And so be sure and register. That's a good one. You know, we at Tom's recommendation a 3 years ago, the radios, if somebody outside the country, they may be on different frequency allocations. And so we just, you know, rather than having that problem, we just give a prize that everybody can use, and or all hams that fool with antennas can use, or whatever. And so we appreciate everything that everybody does, and so we appreciate you visiting the Hamfest on the internet or whichever way you can do that. And so thank you, Tom.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Charlie.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is uh-huh.
I know it's 2. I know it's 119, but he today, but 2. Yeah, I know. I mean, oh, it'll be a big 2. It'll be 240. I'll get I got it.
Okay, I'll tell you when you tomorrow. All right, we're at goldmedalideas.com, goldmedalideas.com, and they've donated a prize today and tomorrow. I don't have it with me, but it's their hat, their ham hat. Let me get over this way. But they do great printing and embroidery. See if we can get in here in a second. They're taking orders here like crazy. I know it. You're busy. I'm just telling everybody your company name and how you've donated a hat today and tomorrow for our webcast. Yeah, and I left my hat over at the booth, or I'd show it to them right now. You don't. Yeah, you got one down there. Yeah, you got one right here. They're not done yet, but yeah. Here's the hat that they're giving away. This is a hat that they're going to be giving away if you're a lucky winner, and it will have your call letters across the front. Can I get a little closer? There you go. That's a nice looking hat, and they do just really nice embroidery here. We're going to do your prizes. Okay, I will. Okay, we're going to roll on. They're real busy. I was going to let them talk a little bit. Let's go see Ted Randall. And the record's on, right? Yeah. We might stop the record and restart it. Oh, no, that's okay. You know what? I think I might get the thing on here. Let's look and see. Under here? There it is, right? No, yeah. Yeah, record. There it is. Start record. See? Let's start. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, well, don't worry about it. If it's recording, it's recording. Okay. All right, we're going to walk down this way a little bit and see who we can see over here. Oh, here's Gifts for Hams. We got to stop by Gifts for Hams. We got to see Bill. Behind you right here. Yeah, that's a fine sign right there.
Yes, it is.
Look at it change some colors. It'll do everything. It's got a remote controller. It'll do everything.
Hey, how you doing, Bill?
What's the camera on? You want to bring it in so a little? Oh, I'm sorry. Bring it down here and you can.
Who knows?
All right, we're at this is a print of our Bill Stokes K5YRT, and gifts for Hams. He always donates. If you look on the prize page, we've got a wedge, Stars and Stripes wedge that it's beautiful, man. I love mine. I'd show it to you, but we're not back at the booth. He's donated the Stars and Stripes desk wedge for everybody, or for the winner. Look at this QSL card. Look at this this QSL card box here is actually laser. Can you turn the camera on? It's actually laser cut. All the writing is laser, and you open it up and look at that. You put your QSL cards in there. Look at that. How you like that? Oh. Something happened. We lost her. QSL card picture. That's focus, Jules, and that goes blank. Yeah, that's awful expensive. It is to me. Okay, yeah, great QSL box that Bill makes. Put all your QSL cards in here. Places for them. Again, it's laser etched. All the writing, your call letters go on it. He makes all kinds of things. These look like coasters. These look like coasters that he makes right here. Acrylic. He's got wooden, all kinds of wooden things, and they're all computer etched with your call. Let's see what else we got here. Here's the Stars and Stripes. This is what I'm talking about. This is the Stars and Stripes wedge that we're giving away. We're giving away on the webcast, and I love mine, man. This thing, look at that. It's this clear acrylic with your call on it. Some winner's going to get this. He makes them in stone. We got, stone, wood, acrylic. He's got all kinds of stuff here. You want water bottles? Look at this. Look at here, man. You can get your own water bottle. He'll sell you any kind of gift you want with your ham call on it. Coffee mugs. Man, if you need a stamp, look at this. Rubber stamps. You need a rubber stamp. They do anything and everything, man. We've got laser etched license frames. Let's see what else we got here. Just cool, man. He's got a little bit of everything. Kathy, can you zoom in over there and show them the tubes? He even has plaques, and he'll mount a 4-1000 tube on a plaque for you, or your call letters. Hoping to get to talk to Bill. He's a little bit, keeps getting busy here. All kinds of colorful signs.
You are busy. Yeah, I have. I know somebody who's got one, and but I already have mine, so I said, well, it's too late. Mine will last me the rest of my life. I don't think I'll fill it up. Although I want to. Well, I'll tell you what, you want to fill it up? They do good. Yeah, I guess that's. Hey, there we are. Here we are.
Trying to say hello to Bill here, if this customer would ever leave him. Yeah, he's not. All right. Bill, you got a minute? You got a second?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Kathy.
Well, hey, we've already showed them nearly everything, man. You showed them the wedge you're going to give away and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, the new things, You have your own LED sign. That's new. Well, these are bookends.
Bookends. I like these bookends here.
I don't know if Sue showed you these. We're doing these plaques now with a 3D French diamond background.
3D. Kathy, I don't know if I can see right there. 3D laser cut, man. These are. I don't think the camera really shows. I want it that angle. Yeah. Man, these things are cool. Cool. Okay. And as we're flying, hey,
that particular format, that's what we call shared shack, where you got more than one ham in the same place.
That's good. Hey, now I like these. What's this? A 4-1000 here, or no? What is that? I think it's a 4-1000. You make little.
Yeah, I don't sell the tubes. I just make the base, but I can make these bases for any tube that I can get the pin spec for.
Talk close.
And I've been very successful. There's only been one tube that I couldn't get spec for. Most of the specs are available.
So you make the base, and if they have an old tube, they can save that tube and plug it in there and have a nice little.
I don't like
whatever.
it, no.
You don't like? Yeah.
That's up to them.
Well, yeah, they would have to. They can run filament to it. Yep, yeah.
Just be careful you don't burn the house down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Excuse me just a minute.
Well, I really don't want to hold it. They're loose on there. Okay. Well, look, we just okay. All right, we're going to roll on in just a moment and see what else Bill has to say here. I'll show you a sign we got. Let me see if I can get the sign here, Kathy. I don't know if I can get it or not, but on our cart, there we go, that rolls around with us, we got a sign Bill made for us, the W5KUB.com sign. Right now we've got it. Oh. We've got a. It's loose again. It just went out. Having trouble with the camera here. All right, maybe it'll hold. This sign changes colors. It flashes. It alternates. It does all kinds of stuff. And Bill made that for our cart. So that's actually on our cart. We're rolling around right now.
It's almost time for the next hourly prize drawing. This hour's prizes are Gigaparts, Yaesu, Tower Electronics.
Can you work the camera?
HRO, the Ham Radio Outlet, and the Huntsville Hamfest Association.
All right, so I was just telling everybody.
What I was saying was that I can make the base for anything I can get the pin spec for.
Okay.
And I have made bases that had more than one tube on it, because sometimes they'll have a set of tubes that they had in an old radio that they made when they were kids, bang, bang, bang. They want them all mounted the same. So.
Okay. Well, I was just showing them the sign that you made. That sign really works out well for us. And we just looked at all the products here. We're going to give your wedge away a little later today, probably. And we appreciate your support there. We're going to roll around. We've got to be back in a few minutes.
Got it.
We'll try to come back later today or tomorrow. We'll try to see you again, okay? All right. Thank you.
Whether a seasoned satellite operator or someone who's just interested in learning about satellites, there will be something for all.
We'll go this way.
Starting in Big Spring T, Bob Pierre, KAKI, recounts the history of advances in receivers from 1960 to 1990. Do you remember the rigs owned by ham heavyweights at the beginning of the 60s? Bob's view of receiver evolution beginning at the tail end of the tube era is insightful to veterans and novices alike. In the medicine room, John Henry will be taking open source and ham radio to the next level. Glenn and Tentex, John Henry will discuss the design philosophy and inner workings of Arduino-based transceivers, primarily the Tentec Model 506, and its practical support for 507 Patriot. Once again, this hour's prizes are courtesy of the parts. Yasu,
Ted Randall here.
the Wire Man, Ted
Good afternoon, Ted.
Sorry about that. WA4BS, WA4BS, Whiskey Alpha 4 Bravo Hot Sierra, in 1
Are y'all still on those frequencies? 9930.
I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. Amateur radio operator for a little over 40 years. Own and operate 7 2-meter repeaters in the Knoxville area, along with a 440 and a 220 and a 6 meter. I work in broadcasting, which is kind of what piqued my interest. I'm a broadcast engineer for a group up there. And you were relating the story about the ice hitting the STL booth. We were in a Saturday where we were actually doing a live show. And one of those, God forbid situation happens that we lost our main transmitter, and we lost our backup transmitter. So one of us is scrambling to go to the main side, another one of us is scrambling to go to the auxiliary
I just need to make it image.
And we had two-way radios at the time, still do. Our program director calls us on the two-way radio and he says, can you tell us, when we're going to be back on? Well, no, we can't. This is just, we really don't know. We're trying to make the auxiliary work. It didn't work either. So we're in the process of doing so. So to our sheer horror, the next thing that we hear him say over the two-way radio is, well, can't I just turn the mic on and tell everybody that we're off the air? No, that won't work.
That was a friend of mine was saying, and he calls the studio, the station is off the air, and and he's trying to give instructions to the gal on the radio as to what to do and what to check and all this kind of stuff. And so all of a sudden, she says to him, she said, well, hang on just a minute. She says, I've got to do a break.
We wouldn't want to miss that.
That's priceless. Let me ask you this. How long have you been doing engineering?
Full-time since 1990, so that's about 24 years. If my math is right.
I'm not trying to be negative, but the question I have is, have people always been
I'm just going to put the mic over there where
in a broadcast facility?
I don't think so. I really think the shift that you see has a lot to do with the shift in broadcasting in general. I think you find, particularly with the larger corporations, that there's less of an emphasis on engineering. When I originally went to work, I went to work as a part-time transmitter babysitter in 1986. And the owner of the radio station sat in the corner office. He knew me by name. I knew him by name. And if there was something that I needed to speak with him about, I could go in and sit down in his office.
I was just going to say something. Tom Medlin has come by here with his camera at W5KUB. And for all of you listening right now to our live broadcast, if you go to W5KUB.com, you will see not just us, but you're going to see the rest of the Huntsville Hamfest as he travels around with a camera.
He's a roving reporter.
Yeah, now let me tell you something. Tom has been doing this for years. I mean, he's got it down to a science. I remember when he first started this, we used to call him the helmet cam guy because he'd walk around with his helmet and the camera on, And,
no helmet today, just the cam.
No. They're at a whole different level now than they were when they started. But, I mean, when it comes to the Huntsville Hamfest, when it comes to the Dayton Hamvention, he's there. He covers the whole thing. They cover the trip going and coming, and they do it all.
I've watched it. It's great.
It's just absolutely incredible. Once again, W5KUB.com. Go up there, and after he's got the camera off of, my ugly face, just keep it on there because he's going to show you the whole Hamfest. And, of course, we've been talking about this. I was talking about Tom when I interviewed Charlie on our last QSO broadcast. Matter of fact, why don't you...
I don't want to interrupt this.
No, you don't interrupt.
Let me just say, Ted, I've been told you got a voice for radio.
So
yeah, but the face is not for television.
Voice for radio, man.
Most of us who are in radio have a face for radio too.
You know, I put your frequency. You're on 12.105, I think, right now.
Right, 12.105.
Yeah, we just put that on the lower third, so everybody watching now is seeing your frequency. So all of our viewers are going to start tuning in on shortwave and start giving us reports on how well you're coming in there.
Yeah, we picked that frequency this time because it's got a much, I guess I'm going to say, a better long range. It's 25 meters, you know, so it gets out, way out, you know. And doesn't do real good local, though. Kind of shoots over the top of us here, you know, but out at a distance. And that's what we were after. We wanted to hear people.
I'm going to let you get back to your interview here, and you guys carry on.
No, we're going to do something else. I'm going to change your plans here for a minute. I'm going to change your plans. I want to ask you this question, and that is, because I don't know, because this goes back as far as I can remember. Mm-hmm. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I look back at pictures from photos when we've been doing this, and it looks like about 10 or 11 years, actually. More of the first years where it was so bad, you know, bandwidths were very low and our equipment was very bad, and you know, we've invested a lot over the years to get some good sound systems on here, you know, good microphones and mixers and new cameras this year. When we started out, it was pretty bad, and the bandwidth was so low, it was lousy back 10, 11 years ago. But
I used to tell folks, I remember when Real Audio, actually, we started off using something else. What was it? David, you remember what it was. Something. I don't remember what it was. A streaming platform. It was developed in Israel. And I can't think of what it was. Something audio. Anyways, when Real Audio came out, I thought, wow, this is cool. But it sounded online, it sounded like an Edison Victrola is what it sounded like. It was worse than an Edison Victrola, you know, or a cylinder player. It was awful. But then, as time went on, the bandwidth started going up, the audio quality started improving, you know, and Indeed. Now we're to the point where we've got streams going out that are in stereo at 192 to 300 kilobits that sound really good. But anyways, Tom, and I want to know this because nobody, you know, I don't know, everybody interviews everybody, but nobody interviews Tom. When did you get into ham radio? What got you going into ham radio?
I got into ham radio in 1964. This will be 50 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I got my novice license back then, and back then you could have your novice license and your tech license at the same time. So I was able to work, you know, 80, 40, 15 on CW, and I could work voice on 6 meters. That's the reason I got that tech license. And then, of course, once you get your code up to 13 back then, I already had the tech pretty much. You got your general, and went to that, went to extra. And, you know, so it's been a long process, 50 years.
I was talking earlier, and I said that I missed the novice band for CW, and I said I thought on 80 meters it used to be 3,700 to 3,750.
That's what it was when I had mine in 1973.
This young man was sitting here, and he says, no, he said, that's right in the middle of the phone band. And I said,
it is now.
It is now, you know, but back then it wasn't. Well, Tom, what was it caught your interest about the hobby? I mean, somewhere along the line, or the way, something attracted you. Something you stumbled into something, you met some guy.
Probably my uncle was the one that got me interested. He was a TV repairman. He was the only TV repairman in the entire county where I grew up. And when I grew up as a little kid, I would take parts out of his trash can, you know, when he'd replace parts and TVs and stuff. And I was always taking parts home and taking a wire out or, you know, out of a transformer or something. So I think that's what got me interested in electronics. And, you know, at age 16, you know, I got my license. I was in a little town of about 900 people. There wasn't any other hams there, you know. I guess people thought I was crazy.
Now, was he a ham?
No, he was not. And, you know, he never got his license, ever.
So what was your first exposure to ham radio?
Well, you know, probably what it was, I had one of these big old radios, a big Zenith console radio. You know, it stood about 5 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. It had a big round dial on it, and it had shortwave on it. And I would listen to shortwave, you know, and it had a little small ham band on there. You know, a ham band wasn't more than about a quarter-inch long on there. And I'd listen to people, and I'd hear people talking, and I thought, hey, you know, I want to do that.
That was in the days of AM radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did the same thing with an old.
And I don't know what happened to that radio. I wish I still had it, man.
Well, I'll tell you, and this is I'll make this quick, but I'll tell you a true story. I was a kid. My dad had a Gruno radio, and it was a tube type, box. I had to take it out of the box and set it on the chair, so I had it by the bed, and I could listen at night. Listen to Radio Habana, Cuba. I remember that, and Radio Moscow, and Trans World Radio from the island of the Flamingos, and HCJB, Quito, Ecuador. Those were all staples that you could get, and they would come in really good. And then you're right, the ham band was so small. If you tuned real careful, you'd start hearing these guys on AM. Well, I was getting poked off this thing when I would stand on the floor barefoot and I touched the chassis. There was just enough voltage there. It wasn't lethal, but I mean, it was smart, So I got a wooden knob. This thing had wooden knobs. I put the wooden knob on the shaft, tightened it down, and I used that knob to turn it on and off volume. Well, then I decided I wanted to play my reel-to-reel tape recorder through the thing, or I wanted to record. So I went inside and I got on, I think it was on the volume control, is where I connected up, and I had a little pigtail coming off. And then the thing had an electromagnetic speaker. It had to actually make the magnet voltage.
Big coil on it.
Yeah, so I disconnected all of that, and I put a permanent magnet speaker in there and all that. So all these changes I made. Well, I don't know. That was when I was a kid. Well, about 5 years ago, maybe longer than that, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, I walked in, and that was like in my teens. I'm now 63 years old, so you can imagine how long this has been, I'm ancient. So I walk into this hardware store in Nashville, and it's full of radio equipment. And I thought, what is this doing in a hardware store, But they had old Hallicrafters and Hammerland and everything under the sun in there. And I thought, what's this? And I looked down on the bottom, and I saw this old chassis. It looked kind of familiar, and I said to my son David, I said, what does that say on the front of that dial? And he said, Grunow. I said, I think that's a Gruno. I said, pull that thing out of there. So he pulled it out, and I looked at it, and there's this pigtail where I had wired up. I mean, this thing had come from Detroit, Michigan, and now wound up at a hardware store in Nashville.
I'll bet I know where it is now.
Yeah, well, you know what, though? I was in one of those moods. I said, there's no way to buy any more junk. I don't need any more junk. And I said, how much you want for it? The guy said, I want $55. I thought, I'm going to pass, So, anyways, I left. Well, come Father's Day, he had bought that thing and stuck it in the trunk of the car when I wasn't looking. So I actually have possession of that old chassis, and I want to go through it.
That's great.
But I mean, there's a crazy radio story. What do you think, Tom? Is that?
That's a story. To find it after that many years.
How it turned up there, I just don't know. And somebody's going to know the name of that hardware store, because I know every radio buff in Nashville had to go in that store because they had everything in there. I mean, you had everything, old Heathkit stuff and all that. So, let me ask you this: what was your first ham rig?
My first ham what?
Your first ham rig.
My first ham rig.
Yeah, that you can remember.
Well, I tell you, you're not going to believe this, but I started out with a night kit T150 transmitter.
I know what that is.
150-watt transmitter, a night kit. I didn't have a receiver, but I had a 12-transistor AM shortwave portable radio. No BFO, nothing on it. You can imagine a little radio you'd sit out on a beach with, right? The ham band on there was probably half-inch long. Anyway, I had a signal generator, and I turned that on near the frequency to beat it to the receiver, so if I could hear CW, it would have a tone to it. And my first contact, man, I called CQ, and, man, somebody really loud came back to me. I didn't know, but somebody else had moved in town. Another ham had moved in town. He answered me on CW, and I was trying to copy him through that AM portable battery-powered shortwave radio. I could hear him, but I was so excited, and he was going so fast, and I was a novice, and that was my first contact. I don't think I copied anything he said. Somehow we knew how to find each other, and I went over to his house and saw him, and that's really my first experience on making contact. Didn't know what he said.
That's interesting. Yeah, and you know what? There's been a lot of folks I've heard tell general coverage radio where they had a radio that would pick up maybe AM, but they would use something. Matter of fact, I heard one guy was using a grid dip oscillator.
Yeah, same. And I used a signal generator. I just put it near the frequency, and you take that frequency in there and another tone coming in on, another carrier coming in, they'll make a beat frequency, the difference of the two frequencies, and you can hear it. But I don't recommend that for your radio. Well, Ted, you got another question? I was fixing to get up and get out of here and roll on.
Well, you need to cover the rest of this place. We're boring over here now. Well, you need to find something exciting to cover. No, I wanted to ask you a few questions on the air.
Okay.
We've really never had a chance to cover a whole lot of that. And a lot of people know Tom. They see Tom. They know that he's here at the Hamfest and everything. But, I knew there had to be some real interesting stories in your background for you to be this dedicated to doing something every year after year and being this faithful covering something like this. And I admire you. I think it's really cool. Once again, W5KUB.com. Tom Medlin. He's been doing this for now about 11 years and just does an incredible job. And for those that can't attend the Hamfest, this is you got to figure out a way, though, for when you go to the flea market where people could email in bids on things and say, I want that.
Well, hey, we sold an antenna to somebody during one of the webcasts. In fact, we were up in R&L back in December, and somebody bought a beam through the webcast, so I don't know.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Somebody can't be here, they see something they want,
We've got viewers right now in various countries, Australia, Africa, England. They're all around the globe right now watching, so great. We've been viewed in about 150 countries probably on our broadcast, and sometimes on events, large events like the Dayton, we may have as many as 50,000 people that over a period of 5 days will tune in and
let me ask you a
watch.
question. I don't know if is this still running here?
Yes, sir.
Will the television camera pick up a computer screen?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you may want to put this in front and let them see what the facility looks like, the shortwave facility that they're listening to, WTWW. It's just a harebrained of an idea, but a lot of folks haven't seen what a large shortwave station looks like. This is all 3 transmitters, and it's a very short run. But and I don't want to hold you up any longer because I got done admitting the fact that this was a boring booth to visit. But we have a lot of fun here.
We're gonna zoom in here, and if anybody did tune in, they'll be able to see what you're showing here.
Yeah,
so Kathy's hopefully she's zooming in here right now.
I don't know, but we need to move this.
We need to turn it probably a better angle. There you go.
Is that better right there? There you go. Now this was probably a dumb idea.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Hopefully, some of your listeners have tuned in, and I know that usually when we put your frequency on there, a lot of our viewers tune in and they start giving us signal reports of the shortwave station. I was going to look on the tablet and see what the comments were, but I'm not logged in on the tablet, so I can't get any comments right now. But I'm sure that.
They're probably saying something. Get that camera off of Ted and point it at something.
I don't think so.
Point it at something.
Maryland and Arizona, I saw, had good signal.
Good signal in Maryland.
Good signal in Arizona. Okay. Well, great.
We appreciate that. But the thing of it is take the computer or your smartphone or whatever and get on W5KUB.com and watch the video coming from the Hamfest. You'll really enjoy it, and go back and visit his site because even after the Hamfest is over with, the stuff that you may have not seen earlier that he's been broadcasting, you'll have a chance to see it again.
2 questions for listeners.
Okay.
We got here. Say it.
How long have you been doing this show?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
And how did you get started?
How did I get started? Oh,
those are questions that came from the chat room. Obviously, people are interested in your story.
QSO, we've been doing QSO on shortwave now. How long? 7, 8 years?
Yes.
Maybe longer, maybe 9. I don't know. It's hard for me to keep up with it, And I started because I was a radio junkie as a kid. I was just, I started bootleg broadcasting out of my bedroom when I was too young to really understand the ramifications of what I was doing. And I don't know whatever started all that. I just don't know. Maybe my dad, because I think my dad gave me my first shortwave radio. And I remember being so fascinated listening to these stations overseas. I'll tell you what, Tom, was the most amazing thing was after listening to Radio Havana, Cuba as a kid, doing a Saturday night country music show on WTWW and getting an email from one of the staff members of Radio Havana, Cuba, who was listening to me and asking.
Did you ever get QSL cards from Havana, Cuba, or Radio Moscow, or Prague, Czechoslovakia? Did you collect cards?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I did too, and that was my beginning. And just a quick story, 20 words or less. When I went in the Air Force, I had a top secret security clearance, and somehow they found out that I'd listened to Radio Havana, Cuba, and Radio Moscow, and they pulled my security clearance from me for about 2 weeks and reinvestigated me again.
My gosh.
And then they gave me my clearance back, so that caused me to lose my clearance for a couple of weeks. You know,
yeah.
I've got to run, Ted. We got a big a prize to give away at 2:30 down here. You haven't eaten your ham sandwich yet over here. I see it right there.
I didn't know if that was mine or someone else's.
So I'm gonna say thank you and hey. Great job. Keep it up. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you the next Hamfest somewhere.
Yeah, you do the same, and we'll stay in touch. Maybe we need to do a QSO show in the meantime.
Oh,
you just give me we'll get together and coordinate it.
I'll send you an email.
All right.
Thanks.
W5KUB, and you can go to W5KUB.com and see what's going on here at the Huntsville Hamfest. I didn't want to interrupt there.
Quite all right.
Tom has to kind of move through the area, and I find with the stopping, I wanted to make sure that we, and I wanted to ask him some questions. It's time for somebody to put him on the hot seat and find out what his background is. Has he been at this?
He did Shelby as well. You know, I don't know if he does the Shelby here. You do the Shelby?
I have done Shelby.
You need an assistant for a little while?
Oh, this is my assistant right here. He joined up this morning. Sure.
Hi, Carl. Okay.
John.
Hey, Carl. Yeah, Carl.
John.
John, okay.
Yeah, John. Just roll it down. Follow me. Okay. We got to give a big prize away in about 10 minutes. All right. We just picked up a volunteer, John. He's rolling the cart now. So here we go. We got to work our way back through the crowd here. We're going to announce the Gigaparts prize here in about 10 minutes. If we can get back in time here, I'm sure that they're looking for us. Haven't heard any more. Haven't heard my call letters anymore, so I guess I haven't won any prizes. I've been kind of listening. Howdy. Hi, Gain. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Hello. Whose chair is this? Is that Charlie's? That's Charlie? I need to drive it. You know how to drive this thing? I don't know either, but I'm going to try it.
You going to drive it? Man, you don't get me in trouble. He told me.
Oh, I see. Well, but he's got in our spot right here. We got our webcam.
You got to move, ain't you?
Yeah. Hey, make it. All right, Charlie left his wheelchair here. This is our parking spot, so I'm going to try to drive this thing. I don't know if it... Uh-oh. I must not have the key. I don't know. Oh, that looks like the on button. That's the on button. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, man. Hey, this is pretty nice. I like this. I like this. I can get used to this. Oh, man, I'm getting dizzy. Turn it this way a little bit. Bring it down here. Hope it don't run over nobody. All right. Turn the power off. Okay. I had to drive it because he was in our parking spot. All right, let's get right back over here. Let's plug in right here. Okay. All right, let me get settled here.